What if I told you that changing just one word in your mind could transform your entire English learning journey forever? Recent neuroscience research reveals that students who replace "I can't yet" show 40% faster language acquisition rates. Right now, thousands of English learners are stuck in negative thought patterns that are literally rewiring their brains for failure. But here's the incredible part. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. This means that every time you think, "I'm terrible at English," you're actually training your brain to be terrible at English. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how positive thinking isn't just feel-good nonsense, but a scientifically proven method that can revolutionize how you learn, speak, and master English. By the end of this lesson, you'll discover the specific words and phrases that successful English speakers use to reprogram their minds for success. Meet Sarah, a student who went from failing every English test to landing her dream job in London, all by changing how she talked to herself. Her story isn't unique. It's actually predictable when you understand the psychology behind positive thinking. The human brain processes negative thoughts 5 times faster than positive ones, which means every "I can't do this" creates neural pathways that make learning harder. But successful language learners have discovered something powerful. They don't just think positively, they think strategically. When faced with a difficult grammar rule, instead of saying, "This is impossible," they say, "This is challenging and I'm going to master it step by step." This simple shift activates different regions of the brain, areas associated with problem solving and creativity rather than fear and avoidance. The difference is remarkable. Students who practice positive self-talk show increased retention rates, better pronunciation, and faster vocabulary acquisition. If you've ever felt frustrated with your English progress, this mental shift could be the breakthrough you've been waiting for. The conversation between Anna and Mark perfectly illustrates this transformation in action. Anna starts by asking Mark why he's always motivated and happy. His answer reveals the secret. "I believe in positive thinking. When I think good thoughts, I feel stronger and learn better." This isn't just motivational speaking. It's based on solid science. When Mark says, "I can do this," instead of "this is too hard," he's literally changing his brain chemistry. Positive thoughts release dopamine and serotonin, neurotransmitters that improve memory formation and reduce stress. Anna's skepticism is natural. She asks about failure, which is every learner's biggest fear. Mark's response is brilliant. Failure is just a step to success. Positive people see mistakes as lessons. This reframing is crucial because it transforms fear into curiosity. When you're not afraid of making mistakes, you speak more freely, take more risks, and ultimately learn faster. The conversation shows us that positive thinking isn't about pretending difficulties don't exist. It's about approaching them with confidence and resilience. Let's explore the specific vocabulary that can transform your learning experience. The word thoughts represents the mental conversations we have with ourselves every day. Research shows we have about 60,000 thoughts daily, and for most people, 80% are negative. By consciously choosing positive thoughts like, "I'm improving every day," or "each mistake teaches me something new," you're literally rewiring your brain for success. The concept of replace is powerful here. You're not just adding positive thoughts, you're actively substituting negative ones. When you catch yourself thinking, "I'll never understand English grammar," immediately replace it with "Grammar is challenging, but I'm getting better with practice." The word mindset encompasses your entire attitude toward learning. A growth mindset believes abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work, while a fixed mindset believes talents are static. Students with growth mindsets consistently outperform those with fixed mindsets because they view challenges as opportunities rather than threats. Understanding these vocabulary concepts gives you the tools to monitor and modify your internal dialogue. Your brain is incredibly plastic, meaning it can form new neural pathways at any age. Every time you practice positive self-talk, you're strengthening connections that support confidence in learning. The key is consistency. Just like physical exercise, mental training requires regular practice to see results. Start by identifying your most common negative thoughts about English learning. Do you often think, "I'm not smart enough," or "native speakers will laugh at me"? Write these down, then create specific positive replacements. Instead of, I'm not smart enough. Try, I'm intelligent and capable of learning anything with practice. Instead of native speakers will laugh at me, use most people appreciate my effort to speak their language and want to help me improve. The more specific and personal your positive statements, the more effective they become. Remember, you're not lying to yourself. You're choosing to focus on possibilities rather than limitations. This shift in focus changes everything. How you approach new vocabulary, how you handle conversations with native speakers, and how you recover from mistakes. The practice exercises in our conversation demonstrate how positive thinking works in real situations. When Mark suggests starting with smiling more, he's tapping into the facial feedback hypothesis, the idea that physical expressions can influence emotions. Smiling actually triggers the release of endorphins and reduces cortisol, the stress hormone that interferes with memory formation. This means that simply smiling while studying English can improve your ability to remember new words and grammar rules. The phrase, "I will try my best every day," becomes a daily affirmation that programs your subconscious mind for effort and persistence rather than perfection and frustration. Notice how Anna's attitude shifts throughout the conversation. She starts skeptical and worried about failure, but ends feeling more hopeful already. This transformation happens because Mark doesn't just tell her to think positively. He gives her practical strategies and reframes her concerns in empowering ways. You can experience the same shift by practicing these techniques consistently in your own English learning journey. Speaking practice becomes exponentially more effective when combined with positive thinking techniques. The fear of making mistakes is the biggest barrier to fluent speaking, but positive thinkers approach errors differently. They understand that every mistake is data, information that helps them improve. When you mispronounce a word, instead of feeling embarrassed, think, "Great. Now I know how not to say that word, and I can learn the correct pronunciation." This attitude makes speaking practice enjoyable rather than stressful. During shadowing exercises, positive thinkers focus on progress rather than perfection. They celebrate small improvements like better rhythm or clearer consonants, which motivates continued practice. The shadowing technique itself becomes more effective because you're not fighting internal criticism while trying to learn. Your brain can focus entirely on listening, processing, and reproducing the sounds and patterns of English. This focused attention leads to faster improvement and greater confidence in speaking situations. The transformation that positive thinking creates extends far beyond English learning into every area of your life. Students who master positive self-talk report better relationships, increased career opportunities, and greater overall life satisfaction. This happens because confidence is contagious. When you feel good about your English abilities, you naturally communicate more effectively in all situations. The skills you develop through positive thinking practice, resilience, growth mindset, and emotional regulation become valuable assets in any challenge you face. Employers value these qualities highly, which is why many successful English learners find that their language skills open doors to opportunities they never expected. The key is understanding that positive thinking isn't about ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about approaching challenges with curiosity, confidence, and a belief in your ability to learn and grow. When you truly embrace this mindset, learning English becomes an exciting adventure rather than a frustrating struggle. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. And every fluent speaker once struggled with the same challenges you're facing now. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up isn't talent or intelligence, it's mindset. Positive thinkers persist through difficulties because they see temporary setbacks as part of the learning process, not evidence of permanent limitation. They celebrate small victories, learn from mistakes, and maintain faith in their ability to improve. This approach creates a positive feedback loop. Better results increase confidence, which leads to more practice, which produces even better results. You have the power to activate this cycle in your own learning journey. Start today by paying attention to your internal dialogue. When you catch negative thoughts, gently replace them with positive alternatives. Practice speaking with compassion for yourself, celebrating your efforts regardless of the outcome. Most importantly, remember that your current English level doesn't define your potential, your mindset does. With consistent positive thinking practice, you'll be amazed at how quickly your English skills improve and how much more enjoyable the learning process becomes. Your English learning journey is unique, but you don't have to travel it alone. Every time you choose positive thoughts over negative ones, you're joining millions of successful language learners who have discovered the power of mindset transformation. The techniques we've discussed today, replacing negative thoughts, reframing challenges as opportunities, and celebrating progress, are tools you can use immediately. Start with just one positive affirmation each day, and gradually build your mental training routine. Remember, the goal isn't to never have negative thoughts, but to recognize them quickly and replace them with more empowering alternatives. Your brain is waiting for your instruction. Will you tell it that English is impossible, or will you program it for success? The choice is yours, and that choice will determine not just your English proficiency, but your confidence in every area of life. Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and remember that every word you speak with positivity brings you closer to fluency. Your future English-speaking self is cheering you on right now.